So how are you going to improve your prostate health? There's a lot of information online. Who's the right source? Who's the right resource? Today, we're going to talk about the just three things that you need to learn to improve your prostate health. Let's go. Welcome to the Dr. Geo Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Geo, where it is my goal to help you with your urological function and how to live better with age. Today, we're talking about three things that you must do, 3 tips to improve your prostate health. 3 things. Well, Dr. Geo, you're crazy. There's more than 3 things. Yeah, I get it. But if I keep adding on, you're not doing it. I know how this works. You get overwhelmed easily. I know you. You'd think I don't know you, but I know you. 3 things. Let's keep it simple that improves your prostate health. When we're talking about improving prostate health, what are we talking about? What the hell is a prostate? What's a prostate, right? I live in this prostate world every day of my life, and I'm thinking, oh, everybody knows what a prostate is. I mean, come on, is a prostate? It's a male organ. No, I've learned the hard way that that's not always the case, right? A prostate. The prostate lies right under the bladder, right? And it brings out through a tube called the urethra. It brings out urine and semen. That's all it does. What's the goal? What's the purpose of this organ? To give you a really hard time as you get older. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's the goal. The goal of the prostate, what the prostate does is give guys a really difficult time. Now, the prostate is a organ involved for conception, for fertility. It's a fertility organ. And that's the role. Right? It creates about 30 to 40% of the semen volume. And then and then when you ejaculate, the impulse of getting the semen out of your system comes from the prostate because it squeezes out the semen. Yes. As men get older, things happen. Then there are problems, typically urinary problems or prostate cancer related. It's not always older men, by the way. Younger men, meaning what? Younger than 50, younger than 40, sometimes have prostate problems too. They get infection, they get inflammation called prostatitis. But, all in all, most prostate problems occur in men over 40, over 50. So what are the 3 things you could do to, keep this nice little organ healthy so that you don't have these issues related to prostate, right? These prostate-related urinary problems, urinary frequency, nighttime urination, urgency, prostate cancer. What do I do? All right, 3 tips. Here we go. Tip number 1 on how to keep your prostate healthy. Number 1, you have to move your body. You can't be sitting down all day. The group of people that really concern me with prostate problems are bus drivers and taxi drivers and people who, these techies, sit down all day. These people really concern me because they're just sitting down. And remember, where's your prostate? From the area that you're sitting down is only a couple of inches from where your prostate is. So you're kind of pushing up on your prostate all day, and it's causing havoc. The prostate is also a muscle, so it's kind of stressing the muscle, not only of the prostate, but around the prostate. The muscles tighten up from all this sitting, and it starts squeezing on the prostate. Some people think erroneously that, well, if I have a big prostate, I'm going to have urinary issues. Not always. You can have a small prostate and have urinary issues, and that's because you have all these muscles around the prostate just squeezing up against the prostate. It's tightening up. Sitting down all day or prolonged sitting is a problem. Movement, all kinds of movement, walking. Yes, your 10,000 steps. All the research, you see it everywhere. 10,000 steps for longevity, 10,000 steps for, better heart, 10,000 steps for a better prostate, 10,000 steps for a better prostate, right? Movement, things like squatting, right? Squatting down and spending some time squatting because it opens up your pelvic floor and it gives your prostate some breathing room. You're kind of stretching out the muscles around the prostate. Strength training. Well, strength training, I mean, do I get a stronger prostate from strength training? There's a metabolic response to strength strength training that has an indirect benefit. So when you weight lift, you're doing what? You're stimulating muscles. When you stimulate muscles, you have a better ability to metabolize glucose and carbohydrates. And I don't care what your diet is, you're eating glucose and carbohydrates. So the more muscle you have, and I'm not even mentioning all the other benefits of strength training. I mean, this is like, it's a no-brainer now. But specific to your prostate, is metabolic response is beneficial to the prostate. So strength training, movement, walking, squatting, yoga poses are great, right? So that's the number one thing to do for a better prostate. What's the number two thing to do for a better prostate? Nutraceutical supplements are great if they're the right ones. Right? You can't take everything. There's only so much you're going to take. There's so many pills you're going to take. So some nutraceutical supplements, some natural herbals and botanicals are really helpful. Okay, what are those? Let's start with the botanicals. Let's start with curcumin. Curcumin is a chemical from turmeric and has anti-inflammatory benefits. You want a better prostate? Keep all that inflammation low. The number one thing that induces all kinds of aging problems, and I'm oversimplifying, it is chronic inflammation. And it's the same thing with the prostate. Keep inflammation low. So curcumin to me is probably the best botanical for a healthy prostate. Or the other botanical for a better prostate is rye pollen extract. And the reason why is because they've done actually a decent amount of research, randomized trials. These things are hard to do with pharmaceuticals. And when you have it with a natural ingredient, is actually a really good thing. So rye pollen extract, in my practice, in my clinic, I've seen it. And in scientific research, it shows that it's beneficial in terms of keeping the prostate healthy, keeping inflammation down. It serves as an antioxidant. It's really good for the prostate and seems to have a strong affinity, a strong connection to the prostate systemically, which I'm sure there's some benefit there as well. So rye pollen extract. The other is quercetin. Quercetin, a chemical found in nature and onions and things of the sort. Again, studies have shown that is an excellent anti-inflammatory for prostate health, particularly in prostatitis. They've done good research in prostatitis. So that's quercetin. I'll give you one more. Boswellia. Again, another anti-inflammatory. This is an herb botanical that comes from India. Boswellia. Excellent for the prostate. Now, no one knows this because what people are doing is they're taking Boswellia in joint formulas because it's an anti-inflammatory and they take it for joint health. Very few people know that Boswellia is an excellent botanical for the prostate. So Boswellia. Those are the four. I'm going to give you a couple of other nutrients that I think you should consider. Zinc. The prostate is loaded with zinc. And sometimes research have shown that when there is low amount of zinc in the prostate, then there's prostate problems. That could be BPH, that could be prostatitis, that could be prostate cancer. So zinc is essential for prostate health. Magnesium. Magnesium is an excellent mineral. I think magnesium, honestly, what area in the body does magnesium not help? Certainly good for the prostate. It relaxes the nerves. It relaxes the muscles of the body and the system, but certainly the muscles around the pelvic area. Magnesium is an excellent mineral. Sometimes too much calcium in the body can cause actually prostate problems. So magnesium counters that. It counters too much calcium in the body. Magnesium is another one. So certain nutraceutical supplements, and I'm just giving you a few. There's plenty, and you probably have seen it in drgeo.com website, blog. I talk about this all the time. So make sure you sign up for that. These are important nutraceutical supplements for prostate health. The third thing is a fine combination of sleep and stress. So, Dr. Geo, aren't these two separate things, sleep and stress? Okay, I'll go with you. I'll go with you with that. Yeah, they are separate, but they're intertwined. When you get good sleep, you stress less. And when you stress less, you get good sleep. So yes, one can make the argument that it is separate, but these things work together. Look, I live in New York. We don't have time to go to the mountains and meditate for hours at a time. I think we should. I think that would be beneficial, but we're not doing it. We need, what's the quick thing I could do that gives me the most ROI, right? The biggest return, the minimum effective dose that gives me the most return. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. It turns out that you don't know how to breathe. Oh, Dr. Geo, you don't know me. You don't know how to breathe. I've never had a patient come to my office And I said, all right, take a deep breath, and they breathe properly. You know what population knows how to breathe well naturally? Look at a 3-year-old. Their shoulders never go up when they inhale. They keep their shoulders still. And when they take a deep breath in, their belly goes out, as it should. When you take a deep breath in, your belly goes inward, and that's not the right way to breathe. Breathe well. And how you do that is when you inhale, when you take a breath in, your belly goes out, leave your shoulders still. And let's say you count for about four count. You stop for 4, pause, and then you exhale for 8 seconds. You stimulate by the exhalation, the breathing out part is the part that is relaxing your system. So you have to breathe out for a longer period of time than you're actually breathing in. And it has a profound beneficial effect of your prostate. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. And you do this and it helps your sleep, and you can sleep better. If you're getting up at night and that's disturbing your sleep because you are peeing a lot at night, then you need to stop drinking fluids about 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. These are behavioral modifications. I think the nutraceutical supplements and ingredients that I mentioned earlier will help with urinary problems related to the prostate, but it's also behavioral. So 2 to 3 hours, don't have anything to drink. Pay attention to your sleep, because when you sleep well, oftentimes you don't have to get up at night to urinate. So sometimes getting up at night to urinate is a result not of a prostate, but of not sleeping well. Lastly, when you sleep well, that helps you relax your system and helps with stress. If you don't sleep well, then that's stressful to the system. And this is why we're including both with this third tip, because they're tightly interrelated. So sleeping better helps with stress, and managing stress better helps with sleep. We talked about deep diaphragmatic breathing. That helps with stress. One other thing, again, quick points, because I know what stresses you as a man, oftentimes middle-aged men, but really men of all ages, is the unknown. It's not the known, because when I have a man in my office with a high PSA and he gets diagnosed with prostate cancer, that's more relieving than not knowing, though it's the C word. Oh my God, finally, now we know why. Now we know why this PSA is so high. Great, what do we do? The unknown is more stressful to men than the known. What do you do with that, right? How do you prepare for the unknown? Well, you just have to know that you're ready, because you really can't prepare. By definition, you cannot prepare for the unknown. But haven't you been around long enough to have had many unexpected things happen in your life by now? And somehow or another, here you are. You're doing pretty good. You're doing all right. You're doing all right, right? Well, who's to say that, when the next unexpected scenario happened, that you won't be prepared? You are prepared. You're built for this. You're built for this. Now, I'm not saying live your life where you don't plan and strategize with your life, with your habits, self-examination, with your health, with your business. I'm not saying that. No, you do the work. You strategize, you plan, you organize, but just understand that you're not going to be able to do that for everything. Just know that you're ready for the unknown and you're prepared. And that alone will help you manage stress better and sleep better. I hope these tips were helpful. These are practical tips, right? We're not getting too caught up into scientific jargon, though everything I talk about has a scientific backbone to it. We're not getting caught up. You need to know what to do right now to live your best life and to have better prostate health. This is Dr. Geo signing off. I'll talk to you next time.